We'll see. Still a chance. I do feel like draft was not the only issue in that last game.
Oh, yeah.
But draft was a major issue, and it's the easiest thing to fix game by game, especially with Fearless, because you just really do throw everything out. You just chuck all the picks for the last ban out. Yes, there's the impact of those picks being denied now, but compared to prior to Fearless, where you had to still get to draft within the confines of the same system, they don't have to worry about Ash Seraphine. They don't have to worry about, oh, our Anivia didn't do so great against Rise because it got ganked. None of those picks matter right now. So we get the big four banned out in the forefront, and hopefully Nongshim can get themselves into a bit of a better position this time around. I expect it'll probably just be the Bard again, and we'll have the same bans as last time. And then the question is, what's going to be first pick? Last time it was the Jarvan for KRX. They could go for another jungle first pick with things like Xin Zhao,
Pantheon,
potentially available. Mid lane is an option if you want to lean towards Azir, Annie, some good first picks.
They're taking a long time to think about this Bard ban.
Yeah.
Maybe just considering all the different options. Doesn't necessarily have to be time taken to think about Bard. Could be other stuff, and it's going to be Annie.
Yeah, Annie first pick has been pretty common, so expectation is that we will see an Aurora for Nongshim, just because that's typically been the matchup into it. But we're going to get the Lucian, and I hope it's the Milio coming in. Dabble is a spectacular Lucian, and into the Annie, you already know, just guaranteed you're getting Milio value. And I do think it's been the better lane pairing compared to, Lucian Nami for now. So they will pick that up. It will be the Xin Zhao coming in through for KRX, and they're going with this kind of first pick strategy we often see. I feel like this has been more common. It has been a thing for a while, but it's like, first pick gets their entire top side in the first 3, and second pick will get their bot lane in the first 2, and then something else on 3. I think Aurora is what I would take if you want to match the Annie. Otherwise, it's going to get banned away. You could also go for a jungle, like Trundle, yeah, matches into Xin Zhao well. That does mean that you are going to lose out on the opportunity for the Annie. You also don't get a chance to counter the Renekton, but to be honest, with Nara and Vayne gone, some of the picks you would take into it are already off the cards.
Yeah. Not a lot of good options, and I don't necessarily want to see something out of Kingin where he's just kind of off by himself in the top lane anyway. Like if he picks an AD cannon or something weird like that, or a Nidalee, I'd rather just see them try to play as a team this time, because what they did in game 1 did not work.
Azir comes through as a ban. Obviously a pick scout definitely can put to work. Lulu coming through, obviously Yunara Lulu would be the expected combination with C coming through there. Maybe a Jhin ban could make sense here. Jhin or Caitlyn, probably the picks on the forefront. Trying to think what else there could be.
I mean, Corki Nami is another duo.
Yeah.
So they're just going to take the Corki away. But
it's definitely been lower prior recently, but I think banning away the Corki's okay. Especially, I mean, with the Trundle, maybe if KRX want to have an AD carry with mobility just to avoid the pillar, that makes sense. And now Aurora does get banned, which is no real surprise. So definitely trims Scout's champion pool in terms of what he can play in the mid lane. We did used to get like the Scion picked up with the Trundle, because then that used to be the thing. Obviously, there isn't really the place here because, the Xin Zhao was already picked.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this and I'm like, what are you picking in the mid lane to actually have more DPS in your comp? Because, typical stuff like Azir, control mages, a bunch of them taken away, fearless band, regular band, Yunara Nautilus.
I'm not a huge fan of the Nautilus here. I think there's so much that makes Nautilus's life difficult in this situation. There is a lot of threats on the side of KRX, but there's such a beefy front line for Nongshim, and they end up going for the Hui, who can operate behind them safely. And I think getting target access onto this backline might be a bit trickier. That being said, Lucian kind of has to operate a bit closer compared to the Hui. For Nongshim in this situation, I do think they're going to have a good amount of bot lane pressure. The Hui can operate well if he maintains range, and they have a good matchup in the jungle. A Sion who can still up in the top lane. If they can get to the late stages, I think they should be within a good chance of this game. They should be in a good spot. But I'm a little bit concerned because we saw last game kind of fell apart with Scout just being ganked on repeat. They could do that again.
Yeah.
And when you only have 2 carries, one of them being put behind makes the game nearly impossible because then all the focus goes on the other carry. You kill that other carry, even if you're trading 1-for-1, they just don't have any gas left in the tank.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to feel about the comp from Nongshim. I think it's more the style I wanted, but I don't feel like it's as good as what we see on this side. Like, there are just so many ways to start fights with the Nautilus and the Annie on the side of KRX, and I feel like if they get an early snowball again, they can definitely run away with this one, or run away with this one as we hop onto the Rift for game number 2. All right, game number 2. KRX are just proving to be a huge thorn in the side of Nongshim so far at the LCK, as Nongshim do not have a single game win against them yet.
Yeah, so this is interesting. We've seen LazyFeel go resolve secondary with the bone plating. Bone plating really good in Lucian, but it means you don't have cashback, and you are essentially just missing out on a bunch of gold over the course of the game. And they're also going for Spellbook, which we've seen less and less of from Nautilus. I'm not a big fan of it into this comp. I think you're going to have a rough time on Nautilus here. But we'll see what value you can get from it.
He's just going to walk up to them and root them both and then walk away. Andel says, my job here is done. And I think he probably took shield first.
Yeah, he did.
So I was like, hey, he's just not going to cast anything. Well, he did because he had a shield. Level 2 is going to be hit. And they push them away.
Playing with respect here. Not wanting to deal with the Nautilus engage. Once Milio gets access to his Q, the Mega Fire Kick, I think it's called, really hard for the Nautilus to engage. You can disrupt basically any melee engager on the Milio quite comfortably. As you can see though, yeah, it's Revitalize and Bone Plating for LazyFeel, and then Cashback for Diablo. So you just passively get more money by default.
Yeah, ooh, very nice long-range hook there in a Lahens. Was not able to interrupt that one. We've seen a decent amount of Yunara from LazyFeel and Nautilus from Andil. I mean, they're a team that's not winning a whole lot so far, so don't take those individual stats too much to heart. They could be good at the picks, but maybe just not making it work as a team.
That can really happen sometimes. Sometimes you get, a pick that has a good win rate just because the team is winning a lot, or a team that has a bad win rate because the team's losing a lot. Doesn't always fully indicate the player's proficiency on the champion, even though it generally is a decent indicator.
We're really looking at the bottom side of the map here. Just feels like the threat from the Nautilus is being respected quite a lot by Nongshim.
Xin Zhao is leaning over, currently in Nongshim's jungle. Willa even got pinged out. You can see where he was. He will have definitely walked over. I think he walked over that banana brush ward, so they were fully aware he was there and played very respectfully during that time. I feel like Kuei's gotten like a decent amount of buffs. Like, we didn't see him that much in competitive for a while, but he's gotten buffed a few times. Like, he got a buff on his WW shield. I also just think his trading patterns in lane can be a little obnoxious, where you just like press all your buttons.
Yeah.
Just do like the claw into all your poke.
Also, his ability to kind of just ignore lane at a certain point.
Yeah.
Is pretty nice into Annie. I mean, you have range advantage as well, which is always pretty good into Annie. As Diablo's just going to walk into them and says, no, we win this trade. Andil is going to have to heal to try to get out of this one. LazyFeel trying to step up to them. And does land a Slurkle here at the end. So honestly, not so bad for the KRX bottom lane.
Yeah, not much mana on Nongshim left available, but they go for a heavy trade and force KRX's bot lane back. Playing around the... I don't even know that...
First blood just like that. Scout with flash, doesn't get a chance to use it as the flash incinerate comes out here. Not the first guy to get caught out by that. Faker did that the other day. As nice dodge there on the hook, and now Ondit in a lot of trouble, but you can see that Willer goes in, but he gets fire kicked away. And immediately Sponge is the boss of this bottom lane. Willer gonna have to flash as he gets pillared. We got a TP coming in. And eventually, you can see that's going to be nicely dodged here by LazyField, but it looks like Sponge oversteps and overstays his welcome as he was very far behind. But LazyField just gets sniped by Scout.
Get barrier. Get barrier flash.
Now that should not have happened.
Yeah, I was going to say a massive overstep from Sponge. They could have taken the one kill and been happy. And Scout said, you know, it's okay. I'll get a second. A big scrap in the bot lane. This kill, this really shouldn't be happening. Like, he takes the chunk. It's like, you are in kill threat now. And he walks back up. Speaking of walking back up.
He didn't flash. Okay, he's going to flash now. Ult's thrown into Ondil. We're really playing with fire, everybody here.
I mean, literally for Annie.
Yeah.
Everyone, yeah. Okay. Pretty action-packed early game so far. Lehens is stepping up quite aggressively, but just stop the recalls. Imagine being a top laner and just this is all going on and you're just doing your own thing.
Yeah.
So this play, Andal misses the dredge line and ends up in melee range of a Trundle. Not where you want to be. Diablo just survives there, very close. And then here, like at any point here, they could have backed off, but they had the TP coming in, so like, yeah, we can keep going. He just keeps chasing into a level 6 Annie.
This is where you back.
Could have backed well before that.
Yeah.
Also, LazyField just dodges the poke from Scout, and then the second time it comes through, he doesn't dodge it and doesn't use a summoner to survive. So, a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, just a bit. Rich up here, he's trying to do things into Sion, just to realize that, yes, in fact, Kagan is still playing Sion, and you are not going to do things into him.
Yeah, he also has biscuits, so he looks low HP, but he's actually fine.
He ain't. That's a nice hook once again onto Lehens, who is getting run down here. Gonna fire kick on a LazyField who takes a lot of damage. Diablo not yet level 6. He's trying to get it here on the wave. And he's just gonna get hooked instead. Still not level 6, but another fire kick comes in. And maybe on this minion? Yeah, okay, finally gets it.
Yeah, I mean, considering LazyField had his ultimate, which is so much power, Nongshim's bot lane really just didn't feel like they needed to disengage that quickly. Diablo stepped up, the Hens didn't even flash, and they're able to mitigate the pressure. They are definitely testing their limits in this 2v2. Now, Willa is bot, which will make things a bit trickier. But for the time being, they are okay.
Yeah, it really does feel like Diablo is trying to take things into his own hands with how aggressively he is playing back on some of these trades. And you kind of do have to do that if you're going to pick Lucian Melio this early on in the draft. Just got to get some good value out of that and get ahead and be a significant threat in the mid game and also have enough damage later on in the game when you're full build, just because you only have 2 real threats in your lineup.
Yeah, I do kind of feel a bit better about Lucian Melio into the later stages than Lucian Nami, just because Lucian Nami, I know the mid game is great, but I think the Melio, you have that full enchanter offering, and the W lasts a lot longer than just the Tycall's Blessing, which is just there for a little burst combo.
Just trying to pillar him away. It's not gonna work.
Oh,
Willer just slowly walks to the dragon and takes it. And Sponge has Subjugate, doesn't even use it. He's like, no, I'm dead. There's no salvaging this.
Yeah, that was suboptimal.
He was just doing the dragon by himself.
Yeah, don't really know what to say on that one. Actually, now that I think about it, I think a big reason why Andal went the Spellbook instead of like Aftershock is because of Subjugate. Although I think Glacial Augment is still a good option too. But either way,
yeah.
I think the less we talk about that Sponge situation, the better.
Just reminds me of some of my solo queue jungle games where I would just start the dragon and you would yell at me for doing that.
Oh, yes.
Just starting it, like, no prio. It's like, you can't just do that.
Yeah, it's not allowed.
You know, if they don't see it and you get away with it, yeah, sure. But the risk outweighs the reward because one individual dragon at this point in the game, I mean,
and now Willer, he gets the dragon himself. They get the kill. They then get to go towards grubs and pick those up. So Willer's just kind of springboarded off of Sponge's hard work.
Yeah, feels familiar. Definitely going to be very nice for Willer. He's not playing Jarvan. He's not ganking mid, you know, 2-3 times, but he gets wins elsewhere. And Yukal's in a great spot with 2 kills. He's going to get that rocket belt. And in this mid game, I mean, you're going to have a very fed Annie who can set things up so nicely for the team. Whereas so far, Scout, not quite the same impact.
That's the thing as well. As much as Milio has good value into the Annie to remove the stun, the damage is there. You'll just kill them. Stun or not. That, yeah. And Lazyfield get the kill. It's a rough one.
Ooh.
Oh,
Ondil no longer has flash. We can say that. Sponge also spotted on the ward, so maybe that's part of the reason why they just back away without trying to extend it. Willer does come down here, though. Makes his way over the wall.
Yeah, the flash auto, sorry. I was going to say he has ult, so I was thinking maybe he was trying to make more of it, but maybe, as you said, spotted Sponge and was like, no, thank you. Essence Reaver now for Diablo. And Sponge will just be there to pick up the wave. Okay, you got it.
Oh, he got it. Nice.
You know what that is? Grub's diff.
Value.
You know, for a game that started so chaotically, it has kind of just slowed down a good amount.
Yeah. I still like the chances here of Kium. Don't really see a downside for their position right now. Renekton, you know, Rich has really had trouble in some laning phases. As Willer's going to go in, still has the Crescent Guard, and now he's going to use it. Right before that damage from that one does go off from the way. Sponge with the Subjugate, and they're trying to get onto Willer, who does have to dodge by going in, and that's unfortunately also leads to his death. So going aggressively when a lot of Nongshim members are around does not pay off well for Willer.
So many circles with the Wei ult and the Xin ult at the same time.
Hype and Wei?
Oh my god, Yukal's nearly just dead. Does he get another cooldown? He's going to snipe him?
It's too far away.
Oh. Good effort. But yeah, the Wei ult and the Xin Zhao ult just providing all these circles, but ultimately kind of seeing the issues with playing the Xin Zhao into the Trundle. Once you get locked into that situation, it's not a good time. And they do drop the Tibbers on a Sponge, but with the Subjugate, he's chilling. It was pretty heavy commit as well. Andal tries to sort of find an opportunity on a Sponge, but they just don't really have the follow-up for either. Still a very close game. Dragon in 45 seconds. KRX got the first one, so I imagine this time Sponge would like to actually secure it.
Yeah. As we have a heavy trade in top once again, but once again, Rich is going to be like, oh, you know what? I just remembered, it's Sion. But he, you know, on a serious note, he is putting on pressure. He's getting turret plates. Like, this is pretty much what you would expect. And also, he's Renekton who can break through shields, and he has Black Cleaver. So, you know, he's putting on the pressure. He's getting done what he can get done. And Scout is going to get a Tibbers on his head.
Okay, nice flash, honestly. I thought he might have just been dead, but able to survive the initial burst.
We got to play on bottom side. Lazyfield taking a huge amount of damage already. The culling actually skirting past the Nautilus, and now Ondil, no flash, but not quite able to get into pillar range. As here comes Willer. Going to turn this one around as they are going to catch Sponge here, who does throw up the Subjugate, but eventually, oh, the heal comes in as well, but they do take him down with that very fed Annie, as now Kingan's in the mix. And that's also going to be a TP from Rich. So Kingan's like, well, I'm here, but I can't really do anything. So he's not going to land any stuns. A lot of snipes do come out from Scout for some damage, but nothing secure just yet, as Willer in a lot of trouble, actually. Just gets lined up, and the stun follows on the Yukal. who gets hit by the Hui, and he's trying to rocket belt his way to safety. It's now Rich. Ooh, the snipes continue to come in. They've got them corralled just a little bit. There's the Fear's there as well. Some rocket kicks and Scout
This is
trying
so
to hit something. They're just fish in a barrel right now. Rich says, we'll take the Melio instead. And that's going to be pretty nice for him. He does use his flash, but still going to be pretty good as Sponge says, enough of that nonsense. I'm getting the objective.
I don't think there was a fish in that barrel. Looked more like a crocodile that left out and bit Lahen's.
Dragged him under.
Yeah, that was a tense fight. Oh, no, not again. No,
Uh-oh.
no,
Uh-oh.
not again, not again, not again.
Yes, again. He's going to do it again. No. Oh! He's not going to do it again.
I think if he'd taken that dragon, and we just saw Sponge just disconnected, and I looked behind me and he was just leaving the stage. I'm like, you know
it's
what?
I quit. It's over.
I get it.
I can't deal with this.
I get it. This was a very intense fight around the bot lane. A lot of chunk damage coming down on Laser Fuel initially. We see Sponge trying to move in, but then the cavalry arrives from KRX, so it's a bit of a back away from them. Sponge does end up going down. And everyone shows up on both teams. Obviously, the Trundle is dead, but Kingen is extremely tanky. And we just get this super extended play. Kingen finds this great angle with the ult because Willa passed around towards the top side. Not only this ult that catches Willa, but then the stun that hits Yukal as well. That gets a setup for the Hui. Doesn't land in a kill, but chunks everyone. And
Scout in a bit of trouble here. Yukal on the chase too. The rocket belt comes in, and eventually he just presses a button, and Willer gets the kill anyway with no assists. Notion, meanwhile, just getting a mid turret. Feels pretty good for them, although now...
This isn't Annie with Tibbers.
Yeah, Diablo gonna have to flash away, but eventually he's just gonna die. Nowhere for him to go, as he's got a Tibbers on his back. And Kingan's like, I'll save you. I will take down the Croc. And wow. That was a lot of damage. Nicely done. Takes him out. Meanwhile, amongst the chaos, Willer is just going to take the Rift Herald.
This is a very chaotic game.
It's just insane. Flash over the wall. And now looking for Lahen's, who has his flash and is going to utilize it. Sponge not so lucky, though, as he might survive with the subjugate, but not quite. As he gets taken out, big Hui value with his ultimate. A lot of damage comes in, and Willer's just doing the objective still.
Kingen just pushing the ball. Kingen solo killed Rich. That's a real thing that happened, by the way.
Yeah.
This was a nice collapse on a Scout. Just found him under the turret. Fear comes out, but it's not really enough to disrupt the Xin Zhao. Unfortunately for Yukal, it ends up being a solo kill. So it doesn't even get the assist. And then here, this is where we see Diablo get completely outplayed. So what happens is he gets knocked up by Nautilus, undodgeable. Tip is dropped on his head, and then Yukal just runs at him and presses Q. A lot of outplay potential. Meanwhile, Kingen just slams the crocodile into the wall. As I said, very chaotic. This game has kind of devolved into just a bit of craziness compared to game one.
Solo Q-esque.
Yeah. Game one was a stomp. Definitely felt like one side had the big advantage. These top laners are just scrapping.
Yeah.
This is all they know how to do.
You know, the grasp value for Kingen probably gigantic.
You know, we see top laners are like, oh yeah, we can just farm it up. No. We must fight. Yeah. This is what we were born to do.
And now, I mean, we have Hextech Soul on the way. Diablo gonna get hooked once again, but he does have Emilio behind him. And the culling does little to nothing.
It does more damage if you hit it.
That's true. You are correct, Ox. That's why we bring you in for the hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, that's what I do.
For good points like that.
So you see them posturing around the dragon. You might think dragon is spawning soon. It's not for a minute 20. This is like the preamble for the dragon. This is a scuttle grab.
Hextech Soul gets all of the attention.
Yeah.
It's not fair to the other dragons, I'd say.
This is a crazy burst Lucian build, by the way. We so often see Navori or Rapid Fire Cannon second. Diablo just slammed Infinity Edge second. If he crits, it's going to do a lot of damage. He's gambling on that. Lots of AD.
Yeah, I mean, just crit.
Just
and
crit.
you won't have any issues. And, I mean, he does fire a lot of bullets. You know, it is Lucian who's going to be doing the double taps.
Okay, if you have 50% crit and you don't crit 5 times in a row, what is the chance of you critting on the 6th auto attack?
Is this a trick question?
What is the chance?
50%.
Wrong.
Just like it was for all of the other ones.
It's actually wrong. There's actually a system in the game that actually skews it. It balances it out. I'm not kidding. You can look it up on the wiki.
Huh.
Yeah, so it's not truly random.
Crit. Yeah.
It's not truly random.
Well, it's probably for the best. Azandal's like, I will defend this turret with my life. And he does give his life for it, funnily enough. But maybe a trade here onto Diablo as he does get a decent amount of peel, but eventually the Annie reigns supreme. And now we got a Scion in the midst of 5, and he will be taken down as well. Rift Herald's utilized by Willer. Meanwhile, he's going to hit the zombie Scion and look for the crash here. A Sponge is going to get ulted instantly. And it's a Hextech Dragon.
Oh, the slick cleanse from Lehens, but it's still a very lost team fight. The cleanse. Yeah. Yukal showing the power of the Annie.
7-0.
To just remove your 80 carry from the game. And we're kind of seeing that cleansing just doesn't really mean anything because it doesn't remove the damage. Yeah. We see Diablo already getting chunked out. Lazyfield get damage on him and then just slide in. The Tibbers doesn't even actually initially hit him. It just doesn't matter. It just really doesn't matter. Short range 80 carry into this. It's hard to play.
Yeah.
It's hard to do.
Scout isn't in range and he's doing some damage, but he's alone now because they have a 2-carry composition.
Yeah. I think 2-carry compositions feel worse when the enemy Annie is 7-0.
Yeah, you know, that's part of it. Because their ability to blow up one target, as I talked about during the draft, is just insane. Like, you have Annie and Nautilus, just those two alone. Not to mention, you know, the helping pieces of the puzzle within this composition, you know, like a Renekton flank or a Yunara Slurkle, just to enable you to acquire targets. And Annie and Nautilus are two of the best in the game at acquiring targets by themselves, so sticking around there and thinking, oh, we can take down the turret and we're going to get Ondil as well and think you won't get punished for it, I think is just a little bit too risky. So that's an ult forced here for just a pillar. Gonna feel pretty good about that, little Sponge. So now Willer kind of in an awkward spot here. He's going to get ulted once again by Kingin, and now the Crescent Guard is down. Wow. So that's just a free jungler. And they're just going to turn sights onto the Baron.
Which doesn't have TP, by the way. So,
just do the Baron.
Contesting? He's making his way over, but it's going to be a little late.
Yeah. And Ondil, I mean, he's got to be careful. He's not exactly tanky here, as he is going to go in and immediately go out. They look for the turn. Lazyfield doing a decent amount of damage, trying to keep this Baron alive, but it's so difficult. It's so tanky at this point in the game. As now Rich is here, and the Scion not looking all that tanky anymore. He's going to be burst down. Yukal is here and ready to party, but he does get feared away. The Zombie Scion also does a good job of zoning them, but the Baron play does not work out, and it's a kill for KRX.
That feels so bad for Nongshim. The fact that you get the pick on the jungler, think you can go for the Baron, but just there's so much threat from the Annie on the other side. It makes it so difficult. Here we see Willer caught out, slow connects, and then the ult just bends it slightly around the corner to catch him. Deletes the Xin Zhao extremely quickly, but then here, going for this play, Lazyfield gets a lot of damage down over the course of this fight. The double stun on the front line kind of frees him up to hit. He also respects the Scion over the wall. Oh.
Meanwhile, Diablo dashing in, thinks he's okay, has to flash to the south. End barrier. No culling here.
Yeah, this... I guess he didn't crit.
I mean, KRX, they always just play like a death ball, and it feels like Nongshim are always constantly looking for these picks, and they don't realize that there's always 4 members, at least, of KRX around. They're just sticking together. Now they're looking for Lazyfield, but Sponge is just dead. Lazyfield just laughs at them. Zost's going to come down here on a Kingin. The culling does a decent amount of damage here in an Ondil, but now no jungler for the side of Nongshim. I don't think they can quite do the Baron just yet, though.
Yeah, I think it's too risky. you don't have like a Scion or a Trundle who can just stand there and tank it forever and not take any damage. So I think you just take the pick and then be happy with that. This play, Sponge pillars Willer here and then doesn't have the defensive pillar. So he puts that pillar down, can't block the dredge line, and just gets annihilated by the extremely fed Annie. I don't think we touched on that the Annie's extremely fed. Did we mention it? 8-0?
Yeah, you know, I think we failed to mention that for sure.
Clearly we failed to mention it enough because I think Nongshim disrespected it quite a bit.
He's going to get Majai's next, I think. It's either that or you just go for Death Cap. I mean, at this point...
Majai's for the movement speed as well.
Yeah,
I'm in with it.
Your only job is to just get in there and blow a target up. Like, even if you die afterwards, you know, don't go building any Zonias or something weird like that. Just more damage, more burst potential.
But then if you build Medjai's, isn't that not good if you're going to die afterwards?
Technically, yes. We have Kingen moving in. I mean, he's got a big shield with the TP. And now the depth charge is going to be used already. Kind of an awkward angle for Rich as they're just trying to engage, but the hook goes in, and they just get blown to smithereens. Diablo doesn't get to play the game, and the rest of the team is just zoned away. Look at Scout, like he's the only one that can do any damage now. And he's just going to get zoned by a Renekton. They kill Diablo, and the fight is over.
Andal threads the needle so precisely to find the enemy AD carry. It's a Lucian as well, not a target. That's easy to catch, easy to pick off. He'd already been the ultimate, so it's just going to come down to can you connect that dredge line? The answer is yes. Now, Nongshim going to try and contest this, but with no jungler, this is hard to do.
Oh boy. Kingen is pretty tanky. And Yukal's like, oh, I'm not even really going to bother with him. Just put Tibbers on him. Bit of damage is going to go down onto Rich, but they can just juggle this. Willer going to go in and tank now. And eventually some burst from Scout, actually. Nicely timed, but Willer has Smite, and Scout does not. So Baron goes to Kium.
Yeah. Good job there from Willer. Waiting for it to be 1,000 health, not trying to Smite exactly on 1,400 to secure it. Now here, Andal just finds this great angle. The Diablo was hoping that it would be blocked, but he stepped up too far. Disrespected the Nautilus. And yeah, the Nautilus dies immediately after. It does not matter. Job is done.
Yeah. Job done. And now we got Rich. Yeah, he's going to get in there behind enemy lines. Kingen not really touched at all there. Sponge still on the chase. He's going to get the Dominus, I guess. So that's something. But KRX definitely still in a commanding position. Zondal's got the angle here on a Diablo, just forcing him to play with him over there, as that is going to be a nice smite the way of Willer. The knockup does go in onto Lazyfield, but he just dashes away. He will be totally fine. The Scion does go down as the depth charge is in there into that backline. The hook is going to miss. They're still dealing with zombie Scion here. And now Diablo is stepping up, doing a nice amount of damage, but the frontliners are super low or don't exist. As eventually Willer will go down, and Lazyfield also going to be taken out, and Yukal on the run has to dodge that one. And eventually I think Scout should be able to catch up to him, but Andal trying to put his life on the line here for Yukal, and eventually just runs away from it. As Yukal utilizing the walk strategy, Andal also gives his life. And Nongshim take the fight, but Kium got the dragon.
And honestly, good fight for Nongshim overall, but the fact they didn't get that big shutdown for the Annie feels really bad. It was close to the back end. We see in this one, the front line able to be more at play for Nongshim. Diablo able to free hit, Scout able to free hit, but Andal looks for this flank angle. The follow-up's not there. Yukal doesn't have his stun ready, and he puts his damage in Lahen's, the closest target he can hit. He also gets chunked out by the zombie Scion. This is more what you'd hope for the composition of Nongshim, because their front line was actually able to soak the damage. Oh my god, you're so dead.
Well, this time, killing Lahen's makes sense. In the last fight, not so much.
Killing who? I didn't see it. I blinked for a second. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, Lahen's dead. Oh, yeah. Must have, you know, vanished. Can't cleanse that one.
Yeah. Well, at least he has only died twice in this game. Very different from game one, where he was
helping average out the first game.
Yeah. Just the Nikos have such a hard time.
Level 16 now in Yukal.
So their Baron
extremely
power play.
Giga Tibbers. Yeah, the Baron power play is not looking so hot.
Yeah, not the best. I mean, they got the Hextech Soul Point.
that's the insurance. If things still go awry, they can just look towards that as a way they can win the game. 2 minutes 40 on that.
The mid difference in terms of potential damage. Like, it feels good when Scout gets one of these long extended plays. What? They're just wrapping around the Dragon Pit. And Rich is like, what the hell are you guys doing there? And eventually he's just going to go down. I mean, no escaping that. Kium is like, well, I guess maybe we just push mid.
Yeah, Scout's got a lot of wave clear, though, so not sure how much you'll be able to achieve there. That being said, for Nongshim, you have a bit of time with Rich not on the map. They're looking to push this bot tower. I'm assuming we'll see someone respond pretty quickly. At the end of the day, it ends up being not the most meaningful kill. In fact, Diablo respects the extremely giga-fed Annie so much that he will back away. He doesn't even get a single plate. I think makes sense, given the circumstances.
Yeah, that's definitely the right play.
It has been a hectic game. It has been a bloodbath. 29 kills so far.
Yeah.
Almost a kill per minute, just shy of a kill per minute. And that's because we've had this little lull in action as we wait for the next dragon. We could get back to kill per minute pace. It's possible.
Seems likely. I mean, there's been a lot of deaths in a lot of the fights as well. So the teams are certainly throwing down and not too scared. But you got to be careful as this game gets longer, because obviously death timers get longer, potential to take big objectives or just take the game become more reliable. And you see that Kium is actually getting some backs in a minute before the Drake. So big vision advantage right now to Nongshim.
Yeah, going to be tricky to push in. Also, we've seen some great effect to things like the TP flank from Yukal. Rich has looked for them, hasn't had as much success, but we said it's about getting on the backline, disrupting that. Nongshim's best fight so far has been where they played the front to back and been able to use the power of the big Scion, the Trundle as well, and have Scout and Diablo just pushing up and free hitting. So if KRX aren't able to get deeper flank wards, it might be more difficult. That being said, we see they just pinged it. You can see near mid tower, there's a ward there.
Yeah.
That is a potential TP flank ward. It does look like it's not got much time left on it, but it is still there and available. So if they get a flank on that one, that is a pretty great option.
TP in the face of KRX. Look at that ward. You were just talking about nice angle here for Rich, who is still just level 17. A bit of poke damage comes in with the culling, but that's only into Ondil, so not really all that effective. Really trying to play here for the one Hextech Drake. Nongshim cannot let Kium get it, lest they let this game go by the wayside. A lot of poke damage. I mean, the longer you stand here against Away, you're not going to have a great time.
Trying to find an angle in, but Lazy Field being chunked out doesn't feel good. There's an Acton's coming on the flank now.
I mean, Rich is right here with the Dominus. They're just going to look for that backline. Diablo in a lot of trouble. The sun comes in, and the cleanse does not help him at all. And you just only have this way once again because their Lucian is dead. Lazy Field able to step up to them and do a ton of damage. Scout here very low, and that might just be Hextech Soul to Kium.
That's enough. They don't need to chase more. They got the 80 carry and the jungler. Perfect to set up for them getting the Hextech Soul. And a soul that strong.
Oh, they're desperately trying to get in here.
You can understand it, but Rich and Yukal can play bouncer here, stop them from getting close.
And they don't have a jungler. They're trying to flash on a Yukal, and yeah, they're going to get him, but they're not going to stop the soul from going the way.
Look at the slows.
Of KRX. The slows are coming in, and Scout eventually just gets flashed on, and he doesn't have his own flash, so there's no escaping the Hextech Soul. And KRX looking primed and ready to take this Baron down as well.
Yukal dies, ends up being the sacrifice, but it's so worth it to get this. Andal ends up going for engage. He tries to get both Scout and Diablo, I think, with like the R flash, but he ends up just getting Diablo, and that's enough. The rest of the team beeline for him. Rich on that flank finds him, and then they manage to catch Sponge as they're looking for Scout. Scout has to flash away, and they go, okay, that's enough. We got the 2 targets we really need. As the fight starts playing out after, Yukal gets engaged on and does die. He was playing Interrupt. That's completely fine because they got the soul, and you immediately see the impact of it. How are you supposed to play this front to back when just by standing behind your front line, you're perma-slowed? It makes it so easy for these solo laners and the Annie and Renekton to get on top of your backline if just by existing you're just getting chain lightning constantly.
Yeah.
So I'm now very concerned for Nongshim in this one. The gold lead's only 1,700. It's not really significant at this point, but the power that KRX DRX have gained now is a major problem.
Oh, Willer's going to go in on that one. Rich also running straight into the Lucian. This is not the same kind of flank that you got last time, buddy. As I was waiting for Diablo to be able to play this game, this time he will, as Rich runs straight into the Lucian. With the Baron available, I mean, no top laner here for Kium. A chance here for Nongshim to make a play.
Yeah, Rich overstepping his hand, trying to go aggressive without the backup, and the peel from Hens is big. Now,
oh, gonna miss here. Will Scout, and now the burst goes down onto him. He's not quite dead, though, as they're trying to go for a turn, and the chain lightning's come in. Willer just gonna separate everybody from Kingen. And, oh, even Lahens nearly dies to Lazy Feel. Kingen's going the wrong way. Just trying to get back with his team. It does look like Nongshim are kind of corralled here. They know that Yukal is behind them.
Diablo's taking a really dangerous route. He's slowed by the Tibbers.
Just kind of running towards the Annie as Yukal, oh, look at that damage. Look at that slow onto everyone. And Yukal's still here. He's still got his Tibbers as well. Just keeping them under the turret. And they do want to end this game right here, right now. Diablo, a ton of damage, though. Just going to execute Yukal and keeps their hopes alive. But they have not dealt with Lazy Field just yet.
Man, the slows from Hexexol, you can see how frustrating they are to deal with now. Diablo managing to get a slick getaway. I thought he was just doomed there. He does survive. Last time it was him and Sponge who died, and the rest of the team who survived. This time it's the exact opposite, but the outcome is exactly the same. The objective is going to go over to KRX DRX, and they're just going from strength to strength. We see in this play, Scout gets tagged. It just makes him so hard to kite away. You see Kingen has to create space with the ultimate, but doesn't really want to be diving in. And every time someone gets hit, the chain slows. They're just walking at a snail's pace. They have to disengage now. And it becomes this very chaotic situation where Yukal's on this flank angle. Diablo's getting slowed by Tibbers.
The Tibbers is so annoying.
When they eventually do go for the dive, Diablo's able to turn it around and get some good damage down. Kills Yukal, helps take Willer out, which puts him in his GA.
Oh,
Said that hurt.
Yeah, not a lot of better solution, but still ultimately it's favorable plays.
But Diablo's getting in there. He wants to go for it. The GA comes out.
That was very aggressive.
And, I mean, he's going to just have to flash away. So now no GA, no flash for Diablo. And the play here on a Diablo is incredibly aggressive, but they will lock him down. And just like that, it looks like the game might just be over. KRX DRX, they find the main target in Diablo. Or maybe Diablo found them, I'm not sure which one. A little bit confused about that. As KRX DRX look to try to push to end. The hook comes in, and they are going to find Scout, the other damage dealer. And now it's just Kingen against the world, as Lahens is not able to take him down, or help him out, rather. As Lazy Feels still alive in this one, and they should be able to take this one. KRX DRX, another 2-0 against Nongshim, as they make it clean tonight. Even Yukal. Love the aura farm here from Yukal. Very nice. I mean, Yukal just missed everything. This was confusing.
I think it was a desperation play, is my assumption.
Yukal just dropped everything on everyone else. I think he hit Scout with the Stibbers.
He just knew. He's like, he's already dead.
Yeah.
I don't need to do anything here. Kingen TPing back to try and help, but it's just not enough.
Andal's Nautilus, once again. Very good stuff.
It was clean.
Seraphine was good too.
Yeah. A lot of picks set up by him. Wouldn't be crazy if someone voted him for POM.
Yeah, I think it's kind of obvious who he did vote for. Lazy Feel with the casual, 56,000 damage. It was a very high damage game across the board. I mean, Yukal also over 1,000 DPM. Scout and Diablo also over 1,000 DPM.
Yeah. Wow, that's some quick math. How did you work that out so quickly? That it was over 1,000.
I just, you know, I'm just built different. UCal with the player of the match. And his rise was great. Picked up a lot of the kills at least.
Yeah, I mean,
Annie was 8-0 at some point, 12-0 I think actually.
UCal played great. I'm not surprised at all he won it. He had a fantastic series. I think a lot of players on KRX also had a fantastic series. So if we get other votes for the players, it makes sense. But if it's all UCal, that's fine too.
Yeah.
It's popping off.